I've found out about Qasim, he's still very connected and active in the drugs world.
I'm looking a bit casual. It's a nice day out there. I'm going through part 2 of my reaction video to the Mark Williams Thomas podcast. You might be able to see Rosie in the background actually. There she goes. All right. So I've got a question. And also got some analytical reactions to what you said. So the first question is, why did you say that Lucy wasn't staying at the Airbnb on that night or any other night when there was a police statement? Now you need to look at the police statement, because apparently a signed police statement, Guardia statement, from Spain stating that Lucy stayed in Masca that night. I gather it was an official document, but now I'm thinking, was it? Police now, who are investigating, need to look at that. Right, there are more questions and I need them. There are so many questions. There are reactions. I'm going to give reactions perhaps on this video now. So if you want to hear more, as always, grab that drink. Turn the volume up, carry on working, carry on driving, but go on hands-free. And welcome to Aldon's Reviews and True Crime. MWT also went through your questions with some of the witnesses, and you've taken their word as gospel. So when they've said something, that's what you've done. So your conclusion was that he fell. That's fine. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. I don't slag people off because of that he fell. And you've said these are the reasons, because an independent witness that you spoke to said that he walked this way. An independent witness said that he was alone. So how do you know that he was alone? Oh, when he was speaking on the phone, it was judged or seen that he was alone. How do you know? Was there a camera there? We don't know that, do we? Fully, we don't know that. You said that he was seen. It's a bit wishy-washy, because apparently he wasn't seen further up the road. He was only seen at the bus stop by Ophelia. I don't know. That's wishy-washy. But you said he was seen. How can you be sure it was him when someone within that group, and I've said about the photograph, somebody looked exactly like Jay, and I said if he wasn't next to Jay in that photograph, I would have thought he was Jay with the dark glasses on. The glasses made it looked like him. Same stature, everything. And I'd think, if I saw him walking up that road from the Airbnb, I'd say that's Jay. So we don't know that for sure, but you're going on that. You've said yourself they may be telling lies. Lucy, Brandon, Brad.
It's a coincidence, I really don't.
Lucy, tell me about the watch.
Listen, I don't really know. I don't know my normal vibe. I've seen them a few times in your race.
So tell me what their names are.
I don't know what the names are. I don't know the names. I know one of the nicknames Johnny or something like that. But I don't know the other, but I don't even know his name. It begins with R or something like that.
If they are telling me the truth, then neither of them know the two black men, other than through social media, and the two men have now deactivated their accounts.
In contact with Ayub.
Ayub?
Yeah.
Who is Ayub? Ayub?
Say Aya, but they've said that adamantly, he walked off road, and you're just taking that as gospel. Do the podcast many times, and I think of other things. I think, what about so and so? This is going to happen throughout by many creators. You also made a very important point. Now, I want to paint the picture first. That say Jay had an accident. Maybe not. Maybe he did. Maybe he didn't. We haven't got 100% evidence. You have. You've in your mind, you've shut your case. The police, remember, haven't investigated practically anything yet. nothing at all. The British police haven't, because the Guardia said, no, we'll deal with it. And you know what the Guardia is like, because you said what the Guardia was like. So what I'm going to say first is there was a crossover point between Jay's timeline of what happened to him surrounding. We know that there are rugs involved, rugs going missing, who we don't know who the rugs were belonging to, but we have a pretty good idea. We have Joss's statement made out in court about certain people dealing. We know who they are. And you said that you believe in what witness said. This guy made it in a court of law. The knife thing, he made that statement in a court of law. The knives, 2 knives. How did the knives get back to the Airbnb? If he walked away with the 2 knives away from that Airbnb, they were found back at the Airbnb. How did they get back there? I don't know. There is a crossover from what people were doing, and Jay walking away from the Airbnb. There was a crossover, so we need to know where he was scared. Knives suggest he was scared. The texts, Snapchats, Lucy said that. You believe in what the witnesses say. She said that, scared, walking away. So we need to know what made him scared, what happened in the build-up. Why he would do that. He didn't want to go back because he stole something perhaps, and we know that it was possibly rugs now, or we do because it came from the horse's mouth. There are so many questions. Right, so you said about the Guardia turn a blind eye to dealing, and that's class A dealing, because you said you got out the taxi, there was a Guardia there, I've been through this one, Guardia there, he did nothing, you did nothing, and he was trying to sell you cocaine, cannabis, ecstasy tablets, are they called that or what's the meth one, as in Breaking Bad? What's the meth? Was there any coloured meth there? Was there any blue meth? You did nothing, the Guardia did nothing, and you say the Guardia, the police, aren't interested, they turned a blind eye, and you seemed quite upset with this, really, because in this country, it's different, isn't it? Over there, it seems to be a free-for-all, as in many other countries. There are even more countries that are more free. Said before, cannabis. In some countries, in America, I was offered on the strip there. What's that? Muscle Beach Strip, Venice Beach in Los Angeles, offered drugs all the time. Medical cannabis. I've already said about that. Other drugs seem to be legal as well, but they're all legal, in your words, in Tenerife, along that strip, away from that strip. Any festival is booming. You can make a fortune because you can bump up the price. A bit like selling tickets. You probably sell tickets as well. You can be into all sorts of things. So the police turned a blind eye. So you look at the risks as a criminal. If there are very low risks, you take a go. I'd be the type of person to be a bit cautious and think, it always happens to me, I'll get caught anyway, something will happen. But they don't. Rosie's barking. They don't. So it wouldn't be inconceivable for a lot of dealing to be going on, and for Ahab and you, Rocky, for going over and dealing. I don't want to get into the moralistic views because I'm trying to come across as not holier than thou. I've never done that before. I've never taken a drug in my life, let alone dealing. But I can see the temptation. I can see that temptation when you're young. When you were 18, Stephen was 18, you were 19. When you were first convicted, maybe you were convicted before then, I don't know, but 9 years in prison. I can understand when you're young, you want to get away from that rat race, horrible thing, rat race. Majority of people are in it, some people enjoy their jobs and they're lucky. Social media opens up a whole wide legal activity. Sometimes it may seem immoral, but it's a legal activity. I'm rambling on and digressing, but you can see my point. As MWT said over there, the police ignore everything, then there's no problem. The police, some of the police we know are paid. Not so much in this country, they used to be, probably are still in this country, but over in other countries, Tenerife, they're paid. In in Africa and places like Dubai, remember the police, I went there in 97, lovely place in my opinion, paid the police for road traffic accidents that you wouldn't even commit. And they said, well, you've done that wrong. You said, just give us €50, not euro, what was it then? Can't remember what it was, the currency then. Just give us 50 bar, whatever it was, and we're turning a blind eye. And you were stupid not to. You just did it. You just did it. So they were corrupt. So they're going to be paid to keep quiet. So if I'm going over, I'm thinking, yeah, they're saying pay a retainer and you can come over and do what you want. That's tempting. They might say pay a percentage. You make up a percentage, and after all the weekend you say, oh yeah, it's a terrible weekend. Yeah, sorry, it's €4,000. I didn't make much at all. I only made 8,000. Here's half of it. Yeah, you'd lie a bit. But that goes on. Trust me, that goes on. I bet the Guardia standing outside on that strip watching the drug dealers do it. The drug dealer knows. And he's paid this Guardia man a lot of money, because wages in Spain, I don't know about there, but Spain, they're a lot lower than they are over here. So they don't make much money. So they make a little bit extra. Morals are in a different place. So we just await to see if there's anything that contradicts the accident, the fall on its own. That's all. That's what needs to be open. I think, am I right? Accident group. I don't like to call you accident group, but the people that believe that, that's fine. I think you're wanting to know what surrounds that. And you could leave it at B as an accident, but you want to know the surrounds of it, of why he found himself up there. Was he scared, running away, whatever. You want to know why he was actually there. Okay, say he fell, you want to know. You want to know. So, we're all together in that. So on to the next inquest. I just think there's an investigation going on. It would be really daft. We don't want a Mickey Mouse investigation, those of us that care, but there must be something going on. Some investigation going on now. Even if they arrest people to pull them in for further questioning, there are add-ons that Mark Williams Thomas you didn't cover, and they need questioned. They need answers to the questions. Perhaps they will be relaxed and wait till the inquest. If I'm not doing anything pressing or working or need to be doing something, then I possibly will go along to the inquest. I do care, and part of me is just curious to know what went on, and it may go on to an investigation, and we may find out that most of us in the foul play group as such might be completely wrong. And I do admit when I'm wrong, not afraid to admit when I'm wrong. I'll leave it there for now. I've probably got lots of other videos to make on it, and I'll think of something else when I've just finished editing. I think, why didn't I say that? But I'm busy, probably the same as everyone else is. And I don't know when the video's going out. I don't know whether I'll make another one today or not, but if I don't, as always, remember, don't have any nasty dreams. Thank you for watching, liking and subscribing. It does help.
There is definitely a drugs underworld here, some Moroccan cartels, some quite nasty people. So what is his background? Qasim was jailed in 2015 for his part in a London-based gang who set up a drugs operation from a terraced house in Cardiff to supply heroin and crack cocaine onto the city's streets. The gang operation was uncovered when police officers identified large-scale drug dealing from an address. Qasim, along with 3 other co-offenders, were found at a different address with drugs, cash, mobile phones and digital scales. At trial, Qasim denied any offences but was given a 9-year prison sentence. So Ayub Qasim is a convicted drug supplier and trafficker. Qasim is a close friend with an award-winning rapper, Potter Paper, and is in at least one of the rap artist's music video and appeared on stage with a rapper at an awards ceremony. The rapper owns a shop that sells drugs in Las Americas. These types of shops are known as coffee shops.